The celebrity longevity doctor known as Peter Attia has decided that he will be leaving CBS. I don't know how much time he even spent at CBS since it was announced not too long ago that he would be hired as a paid contributor, but due to his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, he has decided maybe this isn't good for the network. What do you think, Cenk?
So Bari Weiss tried really hard to keep him. Why? We'll explain in a minute.
So Attia was one of 19 contributors that CBS hired under Bari Weiss's leadership. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with him, and as I was until this whole story kind of blew up, he became famous for being like a celebrity doctor, an influencer who specializes in longevity medicine. So he's pretty popular with the manosphere and aligns himself with Make America Healthy Again. Someone should check in on him and see how he feels about Maha these days, especially since some of the pesticides and things that RFK Jr. wanted to ban, we've now lifted all restrictions on them, so congratulations. But anyway, that's a different story entirely. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast, CNN International, 60 Minutes, like he's put his name out there. Now, we found out about his ties to Epstein in the latest tranche of files that were released by the Department of Justice. So his name appears more than 1,800 times, not good. The two did meet around 2014, and in the files you can see, or the email exchanges between the two, they made plans to meet up and things like that. Now, in emails that cover scheduling visits, phone calls, back pain, and an unspecified little situation, we don't know what that little situation is, but little situation that Attia brought or sought advice about. Throughout the emails, he appears in awe of Epstein, attempting to make plans to chat or visit. In fact, in a 2016 email to Epstein's assistant, he wrote the following: "See you next time. Hopefully Jeffrey Epstein is in town. When I'm back in 2 weeks, I go into Epstein withdrawal when I don't see him." In another 2016 email that he wrote directly to Epstein, okay, I can't say this word on the show, but it's a word that has been used by our president. It has to do with a female body part. So that private body part is indeed low carb, still awaiting results on gluten content though. They're talking about women's genitalia there. He also seemed to be aware of at least some of the criminal activity that Epstein was involved in. So for instance, in one email thread from 2015 with the subject line, "Got a fresh shipment," Epstein replies, "Me too," with the attached photo redacted. So there was a photo included. We don't know what that photo is. We haven't seen it. It is redacted. But the exchange continues with Attia saying, "Please tell you found that picture online." Yeah, bastard, I can see that word. Okay, and Epstein says, "Afraid not." And then he responds, "You the biggest problem with becoming friends with you. The life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul." Cenk, this isn't the most important point to make, but are you surprised at how dumb these guys sound in email exchanges?
Yeah, you see Epstein on tape sometimes, and he doesn't exactly sound like a genius,
no,
right?
He doesn't.
So then people started to ask the question like, wait, who's the mastermind behind this operation? Because the mainstream media puts it like Epstein just did this by himself. He's like, oh, look, Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of legendary spy Robert Maxwell for Israel, is wandering by. Hey, why don't you and I just start a random operation when we're not that bright, but we'll stumble into $1 billion from Les Wexner, 158 from Leon Black, and I'll have connections to all of the world leaders. Gee, I wonder how he got all of those connections, because he's intelligence. It's not that complicated, right? And so that if you're connected to a government, that opens up 1,000 doors.
Yeah.
And so, and as they're talking here in the emails, to Anna's point, you're like, these are the masters of the universe. These are like, now not Attia, he's successful, but not one of the big finance guys, etc. But the big finance guys don't sound that bright either. And it's amazing. They all are like, oh, we know what a pervert you are with the young girls. But I can't tell anybody. Oh man, if I could just. So in that particular email, you can't tell if he's saying about underage girls or not. But in some of the others and the other folks that are talking to him, They're clearly talking about underage girls. No one seems to have any compunction. And Anna, the other thing that I found interesting is they seem so positive they're never gonna get caught.
Yeah, no, it's true, and they might be right. I mean, it seems like they get caught and it's okay because our DOJ doesn't want to do a damn thing about it. But nonetheless, just kind of going back to Attia, like there's no evidence of him doing anything criminal. So I want to be clear about that. Just the fact that he was willing to be so close with a guy who had already been convicted for soliciting sex from a minor is a little problematic, which is why he got fired from a bunch of places. So companies stopped doing business with him, including the supplement company AG1, which fired him as an advisor. Virta Health also fired him as an advisor, despite the fact that he's been working with them since 2016. Addis also stepped down. Oh, he also, by the way, stepped down as an advisor of some sort. No, the chief science officer from something called David Protein. CBS was really the only place that seemed to be willing to employ him. Bari Weiss was sticking up for him, but he decided to kind of step away from that. So CBS put out a statement saying, basically he stepped back to ensure his involvement didn't become a distraction from the important work being done at CBS. A spokesperson for him said on Monday, noting that his work as a contributor had not yet meaningfully begun. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of the money he got to keep from the contract. I mean, so Bari Weiss is Israel first, and so she fought to keep Attia. Curious, why would she fight to keep this guy? My guess is that a lot of Israel first sees the files, and it's filled to the rim with people who love Israel, and so they want to say, oh, it's no big deal to have a connection to Epstein. Everybody can have a connection. Like, you should ignore everybody in the files. Don't look at why they all agree on one thing, right? So, yeah. So it's kind of mask off moment as she protects this guy.
Yeah, so before we move on to the next story, I want to just quickly talk about another mask off moment. Nas, if you're watching live right now, because you felt the need to comment on my social media about what I had to say, when we were showing clips of Piers Morgan's show today, and you saw two pro-war hyenas laughing as Cenk Uygur was talking about American soldiers getting slaughtered fighting Israel's war. Yeah, I made fun of them. I called them hyenas. And I don't regret that. I'll do it again. Okay? Yeah. That's not a comment about all Iranians. Disgusting to try to make it seem as though I made a blanket statement about all Iranians when I talked about two specific hyenas on that panel. And I'll say it again, they're disgusting. And if they want to go to war, they should put the fatigues on and do it themselves. Otherwise, they need to shut the F up and you can do the same.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.